Hey guys, welcome to this video. I'm back with another one. I'm going to cover Bitcoin at the moment just because I want everyone to be absolutely clear on where it is and how to go about it, at least in my opinion. Of course, if you enjoy this, get my free training underneath. There's tons to learn. It's absolutely free. I teach people all around the world how to trade financial markets as well as trading them myself. So I'll kick things off on the monthly. Bitcoin, to be absolutely clear from the get-go, is an asset, okay, where you are really looking at something that can move really, really quickly, either up or down. But overall, if you're someone who believes in buying it, you are doing it on a belief basis. There isn't enormous amounts of price action to go off. You only really get a significant change around COVID. And we saw with the stock market, it was the same. Okay, things like the US S&P 500, the US 100, the Dow, the US 30, they've got lots of historic data, but the recent data above those really, really big swings after COVID is a bit limited. Okay, so a lot of it is coming on this investment basis or this idea that it may perhaps continue to ascend on its trajectory. So first and foremost, if you're someone who's buying it, it's very likely if you're looking for long-term gains, it's going to have to be on that basis. Now, because it's new, you've got a little bit that you can be slightly dubious about it, in my opinion, really. We'll get onto a price perspective in a minute, but really all you've had is a push off from 2022, and you really had bad confidence in the global economy. People didn't want specifically to hold cryptocurrency at all. I think they were probably getting drained elsewhere with massive mortgages and paying bills like that. But you get this big increase, okay, and then you get a further dip. So again, sellers move into the market in the summertime and you get that slight drop. Now, as a price action trader, you can see quite clearly it's no coincidence. You pull back onto very early support that came around in August or the last summer, ironically, July and August the previous year. And you bounced off that. So it held very well. And again, that strong side bias for the up move was absolutely there. And there were many investors and traders alike who bought it on that basis. They wanted a dip back because they believed that the up move was not over. There was more potential for Bitcoin. And I'm sure many of them exist at the moment. But if you're someone who had it long, then really you should be referring to previous levels of price action. In other words, where you've seen people liquidate their orders or where candle wicks occur in the market. It's easiest to do that on the monthly. And because you've got very limited data, okay, you've only got this section to go off, you can see it quite clearly. So you may find that that is troublesome, that area of 39,000 and that further area 42,300, something like that. You may find that's fairly contentious. And I would say for someone, if you've invested your money and you want to liquidate, I would say that area is reasonable. I don't think we're completely done on it yet. Wouldn't be shocked if we get over 39,000 just on a pure technical basis. If you're looking for, and this is really the key part of this video, if you're looking for something like this, you're doing it purely on that belief basis. You would have to believe that the growth of cryptocurrency will be sustained, and you won't get something that completely and utterly destroys it forever. Okay, I mean, you didn't have a complete destruction with these, but you would really want to avoid something like that. I would say it's likely, again, at some point people are going to mass liquidate, and that's going to occur, but that is for another time in the future. So if you're someone who's buying it, you're doing it on that assumption. I believe, or you would say to yourself, I believe Bitcoin is going to come up. But there's a little, there's parts to that which you need to consider. Because if you're someone who does believe that and you're buying up here just before we get into that long-term resistance, naturally you're going to be getting a poor price. Because what you're doing is, and what's very common amongst trading, and especially people who lose money, they're buying after the price has come up. So in other words, they're buying into a high price. And if you came off your computer and you went to buy anything, I bet you practically never do it at a high price. You never ask to buy your house at a high price. You never ask for that new car at the highest price. You would much prefer it lower. So you can see from a technical basis what is quite ideal about Bitcoin is the amalgamation of these moving averages. That acts really, really well for more or less sustaining a stronger uptrend. And you have seen this sustained uptrend and sustained positive bias as the fears around crypto ease. You've got also very, very key early support here. All right. So again, you would still have to believe that the long-term case is there for crypto, but there's just these things to be aware of if you're someone who is looking to invest in it. Because if you're doing it up here, you are naturally just getting a worse price because the price has already come up, and you can actually see there's various candle wicks and forms of rejection. Okay, I would say that it's reasonable that we may get slightly higher near your 39,000, but anything around here is going to be contentious because you're getting nearer to an area where people are likely to want to short and close out, because when people close out their longs, again, say it with me, they are effectively short. Okay, closing out a long position means you believe the market will fall. You are effectively selling your long orders, therefore you are short the market. So I wouldn't be shocked if these MAs come up, all of them come slightly up, this big mixture of them. Okay, and ultimately, if price gets there, you would find it's far more ideal to long there. If you're buying now, you are doing so on a FOMO basis. In other words, you're believing that, okay, fair enough, you think there's a long case for it, but the problem is you're buying a bad price. So even if it does come up, you might get liquidated already. So if you're someone who's interested in buying it, you're an investor, you believe that crypto will come up, your best place to do it on dips. You're always going to get the best value at the lowest price. And of course, at the moment, you aren't at the lowest price. Okay, you're at the highest price for a significant period, probably back till April 2022. Okay, so more than a year now, quite far away, 7 months after that. So you can see historically you'd be better off buying dips, and that technical and natural form of making money exists now. You have to buy dips, otherwise if you buy highs, even if you believe there's a long case or a long-term case for Bitcoin to continue moving up, you won't be there to see it. You'll be closed out in that time. So it is the case that people may find as, global economic fears, as you've seen with many global stock markets and indexes, that the price comes up. Maybe they'll follow that same trajectory. That could very well be the case. But if you are someone who's going to buy it, you're going to want to do it at a lower price. Now, on the other hand, we know we've looked at support. If you're looking for areas to short because you believe it will be short, first of all, I would consider doing it lightly. Okay, because if your size is heavy and you're trading a HVA and it rips up and it really roars, as it can, I mean, we've seen it previously, don't pretend it won't happen, okay, because you've seen it so many times. Massive destruction green candles. Don't want to be caught in it. So since the nature, I say this a lot with the Japanese yen pairs as well, since the nature of that asset is one that can really, really rip high, you've got to be prepared for that and drop your size accordingly. So if you are going to short it, I wouldn't do it massively. You can see key weekly resistance to the left over here. Okay, that may hold up very well because you're in line with what is also monthly resistance. Okay, if I put my monthly chart up, you're well above these key MAs as well. You've had 3 months up. Okay, so a sustained period. Even the gap from the original 4 months isn't enormous to the upside. So really your upshot is looking nearer this 39,000. If you're going to short, might be the ideal area to do it because you've got areas of rejection, etc. So I hope that helps. If you're wondering why my glasses are reflecting, it's because I've got special screen ones. But anyhow, get my free training underneath. Stay tuned. I'll post again. See you soon.